me outside. How about that?
Catch you outside.
Low IQ, high energy, jackrabbit.
It used to really bother me what people said about me. Now I could care less.
Fucking wannabe, big time, small time
I wish a bitch would come to me and act like they want to do something. What up, bitch?
shit talking, bothersome, irritating bunch of motherfuckers I have ever had to endure.
The judge recommended I get one.
Yes, I have a nickname for my penis. It's called the Octagon.
Is that right, Ma?
Bitch, I will slap you.
Something Russian. Kate, bitch, Kate! Of course it's
I can't believe such a teeny weeny little gun makes such a big mess out of someone.
Taylor Swift.
Okay, great gowns.
Look fat. Just like 20 pounds overweight.
Bitches is fat and get up. The tea is exceptionally good today. Who made this? Very delicious. Hold on.
Hey, my cosmic cousins. It's your girl, Nova Charm, and welcome to another episode of Astrology Tea with Nova Charm. On today's episode, I'm hopping back into my Astrology 101 series. And on today's episode, we're going to talk about the bold, brave, and unafraid energy of Aries. And we're going to discuss everything today, from the light and the dark energy, the physical connection to body, and why this cardinal fire sign leads the way for the rest of the zodiac. But before we get too deep into it, you guys know the drill. Go ahead and hit that like, hit that subscribe button, and don't forget to hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of this cosmic tea that I want to sip with you. Now let's get into it. Now, Aries season kicks off around March 21st through April 19th. Right at the spring equinox. Now, just like their sister sign Libra leads in fall with that equal balance of night and day, so does Aries, leading in spring. So Aries begins that spring equinox. Astrologically, it's actually the new year. Aries represents that first house, and it is a cardinal fire sign. So it represents that initial spark out of the dark. It's that initial passion that sparks into action. When Aries season kicks in, the whole world just takes a deep breath and just wakes up again. Aries energy represents new beginnings, that vitality, that courage to start fresh. Now, the symbol for Aries is the ram. And when you think about the ram, it's strong, it's fearless, and it's ready to charge forward. It ain't trying to wait around for permission. It just go for what it know. Now, Aries is ruled by Mars, which is the planet of action, drive, passion, and even war. It's all about creating, conquering, and how you move. And I'm talking about how you move physically and how you move in silence, seeing as how Scorpio used to live at Mars before it packed up its bags and moved over to Pluto, you know. And this is why people with heavy Aries placements are known for being bold, adventurous, and spontaneous. They feel something and they act on it. They don't wait around for somebody to tell them. They just do what they want. Now, Aries energy can also be incredibly impatient, aggressive, and impulsive. I mean, after all, it is a fire sign. And with fire, it's like you can either keep warm or you can get burned. And that really just depends on how you use it. Y'all know what I say here. You make sure you use the energy and don't let it utilize you. And basically what I mean, what I say that is, by understanding your energy, you are able to take charge of that energy and utilize it properly to get the things in life that you want, you need, and you always dreamed of. And we have all of these energies in our zodiac wheelhouse. And it's up to us to find out where it's at and how to use it and how to work it best for us. And when it comes to Aries energy, when utilized properly, child, we're talking about incredible ambition, the ability to create and be confident about the things that we create, going after the things that we want, and not second guessing ourselves. Now, Aries rules the head, face, and brain when it comes to the body. And that actually makes so much sense to me because Aries energy is all about leading with the head, being first and taking charge. Now, you do have to be careful with the Aries energy because if it's overworked or unbalanced, it can show up as headaches, tension, or burnout. These people with heavy Aries energy are very likely to get migraines and even sometimes head injuries, so you have to be careful. Aries energy actually thrives best when you're moving your body. So the tea on getting that Aries energy activated is by moving until you sweat. Sweating is a form of release. Aries energy is highly athletic. So when you exercise, dance, or do any type of physical expressions, it helps ground you to that fire energy. All the energy wants to be expressed, so it's best to always know how to best express it. Now, when it comes to the head, it also represents the identity, the self. And this is another reason why Aries leads the zodiac wheel, because it deals with the house of self. Now, your first house is always going to be your rising sign. So whatever your rising sign is, that is your first house. And that actually leads the way to everything else. So I will be breaking that down when I go into the houses territory of the astrology series. But for right now, we're just going to keep it at the Aries energy. Now, as I said before, Aries is a cardinal sign, but it's also a fire sign. Now, all of the elements are broken down into like modalities, like cardinal, fixed, and mutable signs. Cardinals are the signs from each element that lead the way for each of those elements. So it is always the initiator of that element. Aries energy starts the season of spring when it starts to warm up outside. The spirit of spring is just new life, hope, and action. You see the flowers starting to bloom, you see the trees getting greener, and everything just starts to get pretty. And you start to feel like you want to get pretty too. You start wanting to make appointments to get your hair and nails done. I mean, you've probably been doing that anyway, but you really want to now. And then you start making plans for vacations. I mean, it just gets you going. I mean, you feel so motivated around that time. It starts to plant seeds for new projects, and you start to take risks. Aries energy just reminds us that creation begins with boldness, taking a chance. It just reminds us, if you want to actually bloom, then you got to actually start. And just like that first bud will break through that soil, Aries energy breaks through that fear. Now, Pisces energy gave you the dream. Now, that Aries energy is going to go ahead and take that dream and bring it into physical reality by taking that initial step to take that spark and have the courage to start it. Now, don't get it twisted. Aries energy can get really beautiful when you're thinking about how spring lights it up and the beauty of it all and the physicality of it all. However, when you start getting into them dark traits of Aries, it can get real dark, okay? Now, when you think about it, Aries is a very aggressive energy. So the dark energy of that can be very aggressive, okay? So let's go ahead and break down this unbalanced fire, shall we? Now, when Aries energy is completely unbalanced, this means like an unbalanced fire, okay? It can be completely impulsive and reckless. Now, think about a fire that is not contained or not put in a specific area. It's going to burn everything the fuck down. Like, you're not going to have nothing left. So when you think about Aries energy and the impulsive and reckless decision making, understand that you can tear everything that you built down. Another dark trait of Aries energy is their anger, irritability, and their explosive reactions. And when I say explosive, it's exactly what you're seeing in your head, like a big explosion. Aries energy, because it is the first, it has to be overly aggressive. And it hails from the planet Mars, which is not really, a gentle planet. It deals with fight and war. So those tempers do be tempering, okay? They do be tempering. And the problem with that is always that you can either catch a case, or in some cases you can catch a fade. I know Aries can fight. Aries can fight. But you might meet somebody else with good Aries placements, and it can get sticky. Now, if you're dating somebody with unbalanced Aries energy, definitely get the hell away from them. And I ain't even trying to be funny. When it comes to people with heavy Aries placements, if their energy is not balanced, their temper can get very explosive and they react without even thinking first. And because of the fact that Aries is such an aggressive energy, you definitely can see how that can turn into something physical. So when that fire is not contained or controlled, it definitely will come across as temper tantrums. They'll be throwing a fit, throwing stuff, breaking stuff. I mean, yeah, and sometimes putting their hands on you. Now, another shadowy trait of Aries energy is the ego-driven competition. The need to win and prove themselves. The thing about that is Aries is the house of self. So if you know yourself, then there's nothing to prove. So if you're feeling that you have to prove something by winning something, I mean, there's nothing wrong with having that competition within self as far as just wanting to improve and do better. But when it starts to turn into just the overall need to win, I mean, it just starts to get a little bit, yeah. Now, another dark energy of Aries energy is the short attention span. Now, Aries energy will start everything, but they will finish nothing. Now, Aries is great at initiating, but it often will get bored. And once it gets bored, it wants to move on and start something else. Now, if you notice or you're dealing with somebody with heavy Aries energy and you notice that they have that going on, once again, get away from them. And the reason why I'm telling you that is because that energy will carry over into your relationship now. They will start something with you. It'll be passionate, loving. Oh my gosh, I can't get enough. And then next thing you know, they done got bored and moved on to something else. That is exactly what that energy gives, and it carries out throughout everything that they do. Aries energy will literally have you sliding down the wall crying, snot crying at that, okay? And that actually brings me to my next item on the dark energy of Aries list, which is the selfishness and the impatience of others. Aries energy will make a decision or do something without giving it a second thought of how it affects anybody else, okay? Because it's the house of self. So Aries energy can definitely be very selfish, okay? And you definitely have to be careful of that, because that means that Aries energy is in survival mode. And when an energy is in survival mode, that means that they are all about self-preservation. They're not trying to share anything or, do any of that sharing. They're all about self. So you have to really be careful of that, okay? Now, the last dark trait that I'm going to cover is the burnout from consistent action. Now, this typically happens because Aries is ruled by Mars, and Mars does not like to slow down. The dark side of Aries forgets that rest and reflection are a part of true strength. It is just on go mode. It's constantly going until it just can't go no more. And Aries energy is typically strong. So if you are burning yourself out, that means that you're not utilizing that strength to its full power. And it's honestly pointless to be running on empty, okay? Now, when we get to the light part of the Aries energy, now that is the empowered warrior, okay? The pure life force of this energy is the I can. And it just has straight courage, self-starting, and it's just passionate about everything that it does. That energy takes risks. I mean, that energy truly believes in itself, and it moves through the fear instead of waiting for the perfect time. The first light trait that I want to talk about is the brave and boldness. It doesn't fear being first. It walks in head first, strong, confident, and lets it know, I'm in the building. Yes, I'm here. That bold, brave energy is what gives you the confidence to just step out there and really just take things head on. Now, another light trait of the Aries energy that I love so much is their honesty and directness. They say whatever they think. And I appreciate their directness because I'm the type of person that where I want you to say exactly what's on your mind. I appreciate honesty. Now, I don't appreciate somebody being nasty and hurtful. Now, that takes on a different, element. But when it comes to Aries energy, their directness is just simply just them just being direct, just because that's what their energy is set up to do. And honestly, the honesty is refreshing. Okay. Now, another light trait that I love and enjoy so much is the fact that they're motivated and enthusiastic about new ideas. Aries energy can be very inspiring and just motivating. It gives you that momentum to where you just get hyped up and ready to just, okay, I can do it. Yeah, it gives you that. And I love that energy because without that energy, I wouldn't get things done. And that's just on a personal perspective. I mean, my creativity is something that has to be something that is self-initiating. And that Aries energy really has to be channeled for me to get on here every single day and put together these videos. I have to be confident in my knowledge and excited about the topic that I'm talking about, which I am. I love astrology. It is a passion of mine. So when I get on here and I'm giving y'all this tea, it's because it's something that is very driven. It's something that I'm passionate about. And I utilize that Aries energy very much in my day-to-day. Now, another light energy of Aries energy that I enjoy is the protectiveness of their loved ones. They are the true fighter. You heard what I said. Now, as I said before, Aries energy represents that fight and that aggression. But that energy is meant to be used for protection. And that's, of course, of yourself and the people that you love the most. Aries energy ain't never scared, okay? It done already went to the heavy Chevy and popped the trunk, okay? Just know that. And that protection energy is just needed in the world that we live in today. Now, I'm not saying that you go out here and just be starting things. Now, that is where the energy starts to get a little unbalanced. However, that protection energy is meant to be utilized. You are meant to be able to stand up, fight for yourself and the people that you love and care about. Just always make sure that that energy is balanced, so you're making sure that you're making correct decisions, okay? Now, the final light energy that I want to talk about of Aries energy is their authenticness. I love it. It's so refreshing. Aries energy acts from a place of truth. Like I said before, they are brutally honest at times, but it's just because they are meant to create. They are creators, and the creation is an authentic thought. It's not something that is recarved, repaved of somebody else. It's something that is original. All in all, Aries energy feels like confidence, fresh beginnings, sparks the self-trust, leadership, courage, inspiration, and motivation. That is the light energy of it all. Now, if you are having some problems turning your dark energy into light energy, you know I'm finna give y'all the tea. Y'all know I got you. Now, just understand and understand, okay? We are alchemists, okay? We naturally take in energy, and we have the ability to do whatever we want with this energy, okay? With that being said, transforming the shadow to light energy for Aries will look something like this. Now, with the impulsiveness, you want to turn that into inspired action. The shadow side is reacting before thinking, jumping in without direction. The light of that is acting with courage and intention. You want to take the time to pause before you act. Mars energy doesn't like to stop, so you give it a target. And ask yourself if you're coming from an action or a place of passion, or is it pressure? Channel that burst of energy into a focused goal instead of just scattering it and just letting it just go everywhere. Now, the next energy that I want to cover is anger. You want to turn that anger into assertive leadership. The shadow side of that looks like lashing out, holding grudges, or needing control. The light of that is using that fire energy to protect, defend, and lead with passion. Now, if you are having a problem with your anger, one thing that you really want to do is move your body. Aries rules the head, so you have to get out of your head and get into your body. Run, dance, punch a pillow, and then speak your truth calmly. Anything that you can do to burn out that energy that's not destructive would be, advised. You can still turn that anger into action, but just make sure that it's something that supports your values, okay? Now, the next energy that I want to discuss is turning that competition energy into motivation. Now, comparing yourself to others or needing to be the best is that competition energy. We don't need that. Turn that into light by competing only with your past self. You have to shift your mindset. Others aren't your competition. They're just your reflection. Like I said all the time, energy is a mirror. So when you're dealing with other people, they are a mirror of you. So when you admire someone, it's not really about competing with them. It's just a sign that that is what's possible for you. Let that admiration become an inspiration instead. Clock that T. Now, another energy about Aries that I want to discuss is turning that impatience energy into a passionate persistence. Now, the impatience of it all is going to quit when the results don't come fast enough. Instead, what you want to do is use that Aries fire to push through those challenges. Now, you got to remember, Aries only starts the journey, but the growth takes time. When frustration starts to build, you have to remind yourself that the fire needs fuel to last. Don't set yourself up by making the goal too big. Set smaller goals and then celebrate every win and keep your flame steady instead of just burning it out. If you ever had to build a fire, then you know exactly what I mean. Now, the next Aries energy that I want to discuss is the ego. Turning that ego into empowered confidence. Now, the ego needs validation for dominance. It's like me first attitude type shit. Whereas the empowered confidence is already self-confident, and it just empowers others too. Basically, it don't need something that it already got. Okay? Now, how you transform this energy is Aries will teach us healthy self-focus if you let it. Knowing your worth without stepping on others is the main focus here. When that ego starts to flare up, you have to practice humility. Helping someone, teaching someone, or sharing your story to inspire, not to impress, but to inspire will help with that. True power actually lifts others while standing strong itself. Ego-driven power will try and tear you down in order to feel strong and dominant. And yeah, that's how you know it ain't right. It ain't right. Now, the last and final energy that I want to discuss when it comes to transforming that energy is the restlessness. You want to take that restlessness and turn it into creative drive. Now, that restlessness is constantly moving. It will actually give you burnout, or it will be bored as hell. And this is when things start to slow down. However, if you're leading with creative drive, then you're channeling your energy into creativity, exploration, and passionate projects that you'll love and really be excited about. The key is when you feel restless, create. Aries is the first sign. It is the innovator. Write, move, make something new. Aries needs a mission, so give it one. And it's really as simple as that, honestly. Now, y'all know I don't do no videos where I'm talking about energy and I ain't gave you an affirmation or two. So this video ain't going to be no different. So when you want to channel in that Aries energy, here are some powerful affirmations that can help speak that into your body. My first affirmation is, I move through life with fearless confidence. My second affirmation is, I don't wait for opportunity, I create it. Yeah, I ate with that one, didn't I? Now, my third and my final affirmation is, I am brave enough to begin, no matter how uncertain the path. Now, the most important thing that you want to take away from this Aries energy, and that Aries energy is teaching us, is that fire is neither good nor bad. It just simply is. It can destroy any and everything, or it can create warmth and light. The transformation happens when we stop trying to put the fire out and instead learn how to tend to it. When that Aries energy is balanced, it becomes the sacred warrior, brave enough to begin, humble enough to learn, and wise enough to lead from the heart. You are not here to fight everything. However, you are here to fight for something. Now, with that being said, Cosmic Cousins, I'm going to wrap up this Aries energy video. Make sure that you go ahead and hit that like, subscribe to your girl, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of this cosmic tea that I want to sip with you. You already know what it is. I'm out, Cosmic Cousins.